Hi again, Gregg of the News Tribune here at Seahawks headquarters in Renton. In case you're wondering where I am, there's the sign. Big news today on the 5th practice day of Seahawks training camp. Their top rookie draft choice defensive end, L.J. Collier, carted off the field. Pass rush injury, lower leg, appeared to be around the ankle. Carted off the field after getting thrown to the ground during a 11-on-11 scrimmage. Looked up, I saw Collier on the ground behind Russell Wilson's throw down the field. He was down there for a couple minutes on the ground. He got up, he limped with the help of trainers to the sidelines. GM John Schneider came over to bend down and talk to Collier and the trainers. Eventually a motorized cart came out and took Collier off the field. About 20 minutes left in drills. There are two national reports out there from guys who have never even been in the building that said he has got a high ankle sprain, and one report says from the NFL Network that he is expected to miss the preseason. And frankly, the way it looked, that's better than it could have been. I didn't know if it was a broken fracture ankle. Fortunately, right away, it didn't look like a knee. It was lower than that. Either way, it's another example of bad luck, misfortune, and just right now, dead ends in the pass rush and highly drafted defensive ends. Of course, Malik McDowell 2 years ago, we know he didn't even practice for the team beyond a rookie minicamp, let alone playing a game because of that ATV accident he signed weeks after he signed his rookie contract in 2017. You could make a case the Seahawks would not even have drafted L.J. Collier, especially not in the first round, if Malik McDowell had panned out or even been somewhat of a contributor by this point. The Seahawks pass rush before all of this with Collier was already a question mark. Ziggy Ansah's remaining on the active roster really in name only. He sweatpants, hood up today watching drills. He's done some conditioning work on the side. He's not officially on the physically unable to perform list, but he might as well be because he's physically unable to perform anything in practices right now, coming off the shoulder surgery that ended his time in Detroit last year. The thing I keep remembering about Ansah, 30 years old, he has not played 500 snaps in a season since 2015 with the Lions, his Pro Bowl year. 500 snaps sounds like a lot. That's only 31 snaps per game on average, and there's usually 60 plus snaps in a game for any NFL offense, so that's half the time. Without Jarran Reed out for 6 weeks, first 6 games of the season with the NFL suspension, and now Ansah's out, Collier, their top pick, is out. What did the Seahawks have at pass rush? They have Cassius Marsh. 5.5 sacks last year was his career high with San Francisco. Marsh has been with the Seahawks, the Patriots, the 49ers, now the Seahawks again since 2017. And that is it. There is no one else on the roster who has had as many as 5.5 sacks in an NFL season than Cassius Marsh. It was an imperative before the injury here to Collier that they were going to need to go out and find somebody that another team cuts here at the end of preseason. I think it's even more so today, especially with Collier missing time into September potentially. What else did I see today? The DK Metcalf show continued. A catch on a sharp out route, and Russell Wilson's pass finding him for a touchdown in the end zone, and one of the early red zone drills. John Ursua, the 7th round pick, slot back at Hawaii, 16 touchdowns, led major college football last year. Impresses me with how he, as soon as he catches the ball, he makes immediate quick turns to get out of trouble, get out of defense, and avoiding hits and contact, much like Doug Baldwin did for this team. I'm not saying that Ursua is anywhere close to Baldwin yet, 5 practices into his first NFL training camp. But the instinctive moves and the quick moves, sudden moves after catches is reminiscent of what Baldwin did for them. Of course, slot receiver, one of the best in the game for the last decade before he forced to retire from injuries this offseason. The Collier injury is really clouding everything about what the Seahawks need to do defensively in this training camp. Pass rush was the number one issue going in. It's remaining that now. Offensive line injury updates. Mike Iupati, the starting left guard, has not played a full season since 2012 with the 49ers. 11 games the last 2 years only out of 32 regular season tries with Arizona. He was in a walking boot today. And left guard was Ethan Posick, the 2nd round pick from a few years ago, who if they had thought was a future at guard, they wouldn't have signed DJ Fluker to be the right guard, nor Iupati to be the left guard. Well, Posick was the starting guard today. Naz Jones wasn't practicing today. The defensive tackle has a huge opportunity here with the suspension to Jarran Reed, but Jones is not practicing with an apparent injury. Tyrone Swoops had a walking boot on, the backup tight end. So now you're getting into the first days of pads. Today was the first full pads, shoulder pads and pants practice, and you're seeing the injuries that Pete Carroll is always trying to avoid early in training camp. None bigger, though, than the injury to LJ Collier. You can read about it all at thenewstribune.com, on Twitter at GBellSeattle. Thanks for watching.